All right. Okay. Today, in my Kadak Chai series, I'm going to speak to you on a serious topic that is with regards to just pouring tea. Just don't mind. With regards to the Indians who are going abroad, the problems that they are facing. One second. Indians who are going abroad, the problems they're facing, the murders that are taking place. Where's my AC? AC remote, sorry. The murders that are taking place, and generally some of the problems Indians are facing, and the problems Indians are creating as they go abroad. And the reason why this topic took a little time is because I speak to a lot of decision makers who are based abroad, USA, Canada, Australia, Middle East, so I have quite a number, especially Dubai. Okay, so they open up to me and they tell me things that they generally cannot say publicly, because you can't be 100% honest when you are in a society or when you're in a community. People can start smearing your name and calling you racist and all sorts of he's anti-Indian, he's anti this, anti that. So I spoke to these guys, and remember, I'm giving you the opinion of my small little circle, okay? And they were very honest. They are very honest, but they've obviously told me never quote my name, don't give clues. So I'll give you my thoughts as to what is happening with the Indians who are going abroad, the problems they are facing, the problems they cause. I'll also address the murders that are taking place. And finally, let me know your thoughts, okay? If many of you who are abroad, who are in touch with me through email or WhatsApp, or some of you in my groups, you can chime in. And if you want to keep it confidential and private, just send me, an email or private message. I always read it, okay? So first things first. I know that India's population is bloody staggering, okay? 1.4 billion. Must be more than that. And on top of that, you have a massive, massive crisis. And the crisis is that for every job, let's say there is a job, there's a vacancy. For example, if in Dubai, there is a vacancy and 100 people apply for that one job, just giving you approximate figure. One vacancy is there, 100 people apply. In India, that same job vacancy, instead of 100 people, you might end up with 10,000 people. Okay? There are so many engineers, there are so many doctors, there are so many graduates that pass out of colleges every single year. But you do not have that many number of jobs. Like, for example, let's say, I'm giving you a rough figure, 1 million students graduated from college, 1 million. Science, commerce, everything, 1 million. I don't think India generates 1 million jobs, new jobs every single year, 1 million vacancies. Okay. So what happens is you have graduates who have worked very hard, studied very hard, got their degree. They want to start their life. They want to, get back the money that they put into the education. They are excited to experience life. They want to take care of their parents, shoulder responsibilities. And then all of a sudden they realize, okay, I have my degree. I'll apply as a fresher. They apply one place, no response. 2 place, 3 place, 4 place. They think, okay, keep trying. However, after maybe 1,000 places you apply, and people don't even reject you, people don't even give you a response, and there is no response, and you go for, I spoke to one guy the other, chatted with one guy, 2 years he has been applying, he's hardly getting any responses. Just imagine, 2 years. And he's saying the only response you're getting, you can work as an intern, or you can work for a call center or a small salary. He's like, I spent so much money to get such a prestigious, like an MBA, and from this university, and this is all I'm getting. And now he wants to migrate to Dubai or somewhere. And the reason he booked my service was because he said, okay, is Dubai good, Canada good, Australia? So you're getting so many people who are getting disillusioned, and they need to survive. So they are doing whatever it takes to survive. It's nothing of anti-Indian or anti-national. If there is no food coming on the plate, if there is no way to pay your bills, what patriotism are you going to show? If there's no food, man, there is no money to pay electricity, water, internet. What patriotism? Who's going to feed you? Prime Minister Modi? The BJP? Congress? Who? So they don't have a choice. They have a father, mother to take care of. Okay. So this is where out of desperation they go. And it's not only the people who are desperate. There are people who are ambitious. There are people who really want to settle down. They want a Western country. There are people who have preferences. There are people who say, I want to get a white passport. I have a dream. And then there are these who have, flowery dreams. I want to have a white woman as a wife. I want to have white children. I, in my 20s, this is pre-internet era, I used to see the 80s movies like Knight Rider, Airwolf, A-Team, and all the action movies, and James Bond. And I used to think, oh, the West, all women are beautiful, and you'll have a beautiful family, and you'll have beautiful children, and everything is perfect. Because there was no internet, there was no Google, there was no Facebook, there was nothing. We lived with the images we saw in Hollywood. However, today we know the reality. But now what is happening? Okay, now what is happening? You have so many kinds of people going there, so many. And then you have the ones that people don't talk about. I saw some documentaries of students who are going to Canada, Punjabis, and then there are these farmers' children. They literally have 30, 40 years of their savings, and they spend it to fund their child's education, to help them go in Canada, or mostly Canada, because Canada is easy. But then they realize the place where they got the degree is fake. Some even want fake degrees. Some actually send me messages, hey, I want a fake degree, I'll pay you whatever money, or help me get in touch with the person who gives fake degrees. There's so much of this going on. And then they go abroad. And what is the problem here? The problem here is they can't even speak English. They can't even communicate. They can't even type a decent, string together a decent sentence in English. And how I know this? My friend who's involved, friend as in online, he conducts lots of interviews for a very senior position. He's in HR for this very big company. He has actually shown me, he's not supposed to do that legally, that's why I'm not giving you his details. He has shown me videos, where he has taken videos. He's chatting with an Indian guy who wants a job. And imagine he's taking his interview. This is an Indian guy who has just come new. Okay? And he's, oh, sure hai, chalega. No, koi baat nahi, I can do. Seriously, huh? And then there was this other lady, Punjabi, she was like, myself sir, I am some Prithvi, some Singh. I am looking for a job in, whichever country. I'm hardworking, I will. And here's the comedy. She has a supposedly master's in English and communication, and she can't speak in English. So you have idiots, arrogance, ignorant people. Then you have people with questionable credentials. And then you have the typical who are okay, average. They are nothing great. They are genuine, they are normal. But they are desperate. So you have so many kinds of Indians going there. And the sheer volume, the number of people who are going there, it has now started to become a meme. It has now started to become a problem. Because what happens is, you can have one really smart, intelligent guy from India, guy or girl, second one smart, and then if the rest of them are average, and then you have the worst of the worst in 10 people, two are brilliant, six, so two, one, two, three, four, five, six. Six are average, and two are the worst of the lot. Whom would you tend to remember? You will always remember the worst of the worst. You'll remember the average. Very rarely do you remember the genius, the smart ones. If you see smart ones, you'll be like, oh, okay. You will keep them in mind. But we tend to remember the most horrifying or the ones that really, like when people see my face, they never forget me. Why? Because you don't see every day someone with tattoos on the face, and it's not in a good way. Some people are like, oh, fuck, look at this guy, hideous. And then when I tell them I'm Indian, they're like, fucking hell, you're Indian? Oh my goodness, you're the first one. So they will always remember the strange, the most bizarre, the most horrifying, or the worst, or, we seldom remember the normal ones. We seldom remember the good ones. And this is one of the key problems our Indians are facing. You remember the Bali story where this Indian family went to Bali to a hotel and they got stopped before they were leaving the hotel. They opened their suitcase and they caught them stealing. And then this Indian, instead of apologizing, he's shouting, okay, how much money? I'll give you money. Yeah, you fucking son of a bitch. You are caught red-handed. And it smeared the name of all the Indians. Even there are European, like in Switzerland or Sweden, they had a viral poster for Indians only, for Indians. Please don't put food in the bag. Please don't share the buffet. It is per head. Stealing food is not allowed. And people said, oh, this is racist. No, it is a reality. It is a sad reality. Me being Indian myself, I see Indians coming here to Samui, which is a remote island. And the way they behave, the way some of them smell. Just today, I saw this. I took my tea, my tea from that Indian restaurant. As I was coming out to the main road, this Indian guy is clearly Indian. He had his big ass Apple AirPod earphones, hairy all over. And how do I know he's Indian? He was driving fat as a fuck. No helmet. He's wearing the Apple headphones. And I'm coming out. I'm trying to come on the main road. I'm waiting for the traffic to move. And he stops. Just imagine he stops. Him and his friend, both without shirt. I don't know what they were enjoying, having their sweaty bodies. And how did I know he's Indian? Abey, isko dekh. Loudly. Because maybe he couldn't hear the volume. Arey, isko dekh yaar. And the other guy was obviously on his camera. And just imagine, I'm on my scooter. There's traffic that is passed by. This piece of shit, this bum, stops. Means there are scooters behind him. Thankfully, they're a little far. And I'm still standing there. This guy takes his camera, his friend at the back, and is, hey, usko hi bol. He obviously didn't think that I know Hindi. Say, hey, hi bol. Are yaar, usko dekh yaar. What are you doing, man? He didn't take my permission to take the video. You are stopping in the bloody middle of the road. Like, not middle, like, scooters are behind. And now you'll say, yeah, that is a one-off case. Do you know how many Indians have had a bad experience with here? There was even one which I spoke many years ago. There's this lady and this guy in this Amazon cafe. I walk in. It was in the morning or something. I wanted my morning coffee. And I see this lady with, big gold chain. Like, I don't know, why would you want a really big, massive gold chain? And what happens here in Thailand, if they see a gold chain, there are people who might just snatch the gold chain when they are going with their scooter. So she had this big gold chain, and she was flexing it. And this guy is there talking. So, I could make out they're Indian because they were talking in Hindi. So I just politely told her, I said, ma'am, I couldn't help but notice. I shouldn't have done that, to be honest with you. I said, I couldn't help but notice you have this gold chain and I know you're a tourist. I said, it's not safe. Just don't have it because there are a lot of gold snatching going on. Okay, so I just thought I'll tell you. Yeah, I'm just saying it as a well-wisher. It's up to you. So they looked at me and like, obviously shocked with my tattoos and all that. And I continued. And as they were talking, just imagine I've genuinely told something which is my fault. I blame myself. The guy was saying, "Chutiya hai, pagal hai, usko dekh." Like, he's abusing me. Okay. Now, I did it out of good intention. Yes, I should have been minding my own business, but I, thought of this thing. And instead of saying anything good, all he had to say was "Chutiya hai." Bhikhari ke jaise something, he was okay. And the last example is what I shared with you last time. Me and my wife and my baby went to 7-Eleven, and obviously my baby runs, and then my wife is going and buying what she wants. I stand and I know what I want to take. And as I'm standing there, I finish first. My wife always takes time. My baby is still running. This group of guys smelling like, oh my goodness, you could make out is an Indian. The pungent, musky smell, stinking like shit, and loud. They are fucking loud. I don't know what it is with Indians to be so loud. Arey, bosdi ke, teri maa ki hai, this and that, and they are making fun of the staff that is working there. Hey, chinki ko de kya? People understand that you're mocking people. Like even at the airports, when these Indians come, they come in a group. Somehow they become so brave and Ari teri maa ki bosdi kare, are teri benchot and this, and then they push. They are so loud. It's like my tattoos try to make a loud noise and seek attention. That's why people get tattoos. They want people to see you. But these guys, they may not have tattoos, but they'll compensate by making the loudest noise possible and the most dirty language, especially North Indians. Dirty is an understatement. Teri maa ki, your mothers, your sisters, her genitalia, your this, your that. And if that was not enough, then they start commenting on people who are working, who are earning their daily bread. Chinki gade, are usko, what one, I remember one North Indian guy said, he's talking about her breasts, doodh, something like milk. Look at her breasts and all that. What are you doing, man? And these two guys, the smelling as they were, smelly. I told you, he took his bloody camera, I don't know what he was filming. And then he starts, just imagine, he's looking at me, doesn't take my permission. Here's my phone. What the fuck are you doing, man? And for me, I'm used to it, so I didn't want any drama. I kept quiet. And then he started looking at my kid because my kid was there. If he had taken a few seconds more, I would have told him, excuse me, this is not allowed. You can't take the video of my child. And okay, he stopped and then he focused on me. It was really irritating me. And then when my wife came, again, like a shameless dog, he's looking at me, saw my kid, looked up again, and then my wife. I was about to come and, I think his friend kind of noticed and he said, hey, sun. Bas. And then after that, he didn't know I had, I knew Hindi because most of them don't think I'm Indian. They started passing personal. Hey, chutiye ko dekhe. Arey yaar, uska ye. Means he's asking him, hey, maybe he has tattoos on his dick and this and that. So, I know what you'll say. Loy, these are low-class people who you're talking. My dear, the number of Indians who visit places, like they even negotiate and they even, a prostitute, you will see two Indians standing like this. Prostitute is there. How much? Okay, last price. To a prostitute. Last price, how much? Okay, me, my friend. I when I went to Pattaya, first time, I saw with my own eyes, I heard with my own ears. How much? Last. Okay, me, my friend. Together. How much for? Okay, you take my friend, one free and one. Just imagine. They even bargain with poor people sitting and selling, snacks and all that. They will sell for 20 baht. They will negotiate 20 baht. And the guy is not poor. He has his bloody smartphone. He has. You try to understand. You can justify and say, oh, you're trying to be racist. Oh, you're trying. You just need few bad apples to fuck up everyone's reputation. Simple. Go to Air India. Have a look at the air hostess. In my life, I always had seen Emirates Airlines, Qatar Airways. I don't know what made me book Air India, and that was the first and last time. And you can Google search the YouTube experience of Air India. I have never, maybe there are more. I've never seen a cabin crew looking like a bloody, I don't know, for lack of a better word, you will call me a misogynist, and she looked like a 50-year-old auntie. She was like, you could see her, she was wearing a sari, she had tires at the side, a bloody stomach was hanging, she had sweaty armpits, sweat patch on a fucking sari, sweat patches. And because she was sweating, you could make out, that film of makeup. And she was polite. Namaste. She was very polite. But do you know the image and impression it gave me when I saw this? I was like, what the fuck is this? Seriously, I was like, what the fuck is it? Because you look at Emirates Airlines, they look, wow, they look beautiful. Qatar Airways, wow, beautiful. Air India, what the fuck is this? And then the seat was damaged. It had a fucking pungent smell. Oh, I went in economy class and that was the last fucking time I would ever do that. Man, the place smelled as if I put my nose, if you go for exercise and you sweat and it's hot, and you just take out your underwear and that musky smell is there in your undergarments. That is how disgusting it was smelling. It was smelling like as if I put my nose under my armpits, which I didn't. If suppose I didn't wash it for hours and hours. I was like, I was going to puke, faint. I was like, oh my goodness. And they were sitting there. They're not sitting on their seat. They're sitting on top of the seat. And they are acting like some roadside, as if, you pass by the road and you see people's, vendors selling pan and cigarettes. And I just kept quiet. I'm giving you the experiences I've had. You can say, Loy, you have only been to the cheapest of the cheap. If you go to VIP, 5-star hotels, 7-star hotels, whatever, there's no 7-star. Yeah, you're right. If I go to 5-star, maybe they'll be different. If I go to the creme de la creme, okay, fine, it'll be different. I'm talking of the majority. The majority are not creme de la creme. If you take the Pareto principle 80-20, the 20%, and out of the 20%, maybe 1% uber rich, ultra rich, 20% well-to-do, the 80% is massive. 1.4 billion, 80% is massive. This is the kind of crowd that goes to the West. They want to escape this poverty. They want to escape bad life. The problem is they carry all the dirt, all the behavior, all the shamelessness, which they want to get away from. They take that and they go abroad. And then when the interviewer asks, this is one thing which you should never do, seriously never do. One sec. And remember, the interviewer is Indian origin. When he's asking him questions, this is one thing they cannot stand. Their response is, but back home in India, it's like this. Back home in India, in India, we have a difference. The senior manager, they get so irritated when they say back home in India and back. Boss, you're not back home in India, you're here. You are here, not back home in India. Back home, you might scratch your nut sack and, sniff it. sniff your fingers to see the aroma. You don't do that fucking here. Oh, back home in India, they give you 5 days off and you can check the internet and you can gossip. No, you can't do it here. Back home, then go back home. That's what, my friend, he says. And they cry about racism. They keep crying about, oh, they're racist, oh, they're racist. Have a look at how Indians treat Africans who are based in India. Don't take my word, just Google search. Indians themselves are racist towards the minorities. There was this video where Muslims were praying or something, and these guys, hooligans who were brandishing, the saffron, this thing, and they broke into their hostel and damaged the scooters and the living quarters. Even Africans, there was a football player who scored something and all these, I think it was in Kerala or something, they beat him up. There are Africans who literally send me messages and tell, bro, I went to study in India. It was one of the worst racist experience. They make fun of you, they mock you, they call you names. And because obviously they learn the Indian language, they talk so bad about us. Our Indians are racist towards Indians itself. They treat, like there was that nice little saying, if Muslims were not there, Hindus who anyway are bashing up Muslim minorities, not all Hindus, you would have, if Muslims are not there, Hindus would be, oh, these are untouchables, these are Kshatriyas, these are Brahmins, and they would differentiate between themselves. So, the point I'm trying to make here is, our Indians, they are going around spoiling the name of Indians and India. They're doing all this shit. And because of this majority, not minority, because of these people, it is spoiling the name for each and every one. That is why in Thailand, a simple place like Thailand, if you say I'm from India or I'm an Indian, just look at their face and expression. In fact, Indian restaurants, when they have Indian customers, they always go, oh my goodness. I'm not joking. Indian restaurants, they cannot tolerate Indian customers. I experienced the same when I went to Bangkok. A Punjabi Indian restaurant, the masala dosa was amazing. I would go there every single day, twice. And, I obviously started to speak to the owner's son, and he said the worst customers are Indians. He's saying when they come here, they make a mess out of everything. He's saying, I just cannot stand them. Now comes the problem which Indians are facing. When you have such a bad reputation, when you have such a bad image, obviously they're going to compartmentalize you, right? Just like how Indians are swarming against Africans or foreign nationals, like even if it's a tourist, it's a beautiful girl, we have seen how they treat and behave. So now when they go abroad, you get these hooligans. Every country has its bad apples. They call them rednecks or whatever you want to call them, or gangsters, or black African American. I don't know why they use African American, black Americans. The minute they identify you, I've seen these videos, unfortunate as it is, the minute they identify you as an Indian, they will target you. It can be your accent, it can be the way you dress, it can be just the fact that, oh, he's an Indian. And it's unfortunate that these guys, maybe they are nice, educated, classy chaps, okay, guys or girls. But now they become the target. Just imagine, for no fault of their own. We have seen one Indian female get killed by a cop or something. There was this news. We saw there was a very graphic video that was shared in my Blood and Gore group. This Indian guy, the way he got beaten by the hammer on his head, even after he went unconscious, he kept hitting until his head and blood and brain parts all went out. And, even one of my clients' friends, we were just talking. Um, he wanted coaching advice for his son, and he was concerned because his son's friend, real story, son's friend, was working in, I think, one of the petrol stations where they sell all this, you have to fill petrol and there's like a supermarket, a small market. A black guy, it seems, came out there, showed him the gun, said, "Give me all the money." He gave him the money. There was hardly anything, and then shot him, and he died. And there are so many incidents like this of Indians being shot, who are being killed. And we are seeing videos now of violence being targeted towards Indians. Plenty of videos. I've seen even some videos where an Indian is walking, is minding his own business. They take swords and this, and then they're running, and then they beat him up. It's really a sad situation. It's seriously sad. In fact, it seems in places like Germany and all that, the minute they identify as an Indian, they don't want you in that community. You can be Indian, Arab, Muslim, anything. They don't want immigrants. They just don't want. Like if you apply and they know through your name or this thing that you are coming into this, they just don't want you. In fact, some of the HR people, they have told me, the minute we realize this guy is from India or whatever, we just don't want. Like they avoid these transgender activists because they're like, we don't want any issues and complications in our company. Oh, he misgendered me and all that. Don't want to lose our job. So we're very polite. We say, yeah, we are very diverse and inclusive and all that. But in reality, they keep them away. They have been given strict instructions by the management, by the HR, don't employ these characters. But they will not tell them that. In the same way, this HR, senior person of mine, he is like, I'm of Indian origin, but I don't want any Indian. He's saying they are so unprofessional. They are a bloody headache to work with. Back home in my country, this and that, and excuses. And then he is saying questionable credentials, fake degrees, the attitude that they... It's like instead of blending in, you are expecting them to, adjust to you. And one last thing I just want to share with you. One last thing, okay? We have seen the unfortunate rise of violence against Indians, which is concerning. Okay, I'll not say that it is not, but I feel the media is kind of blowing it out of proportion, and I'll tell you why. For example, in USA, one of the most criminally intensive countries, the maximum number of crimes, maximum number of people in jail. I'm sure the number of Americans killed, themselves, Americans killed, is the highest, or crimes committed against Americans. So obviously there will be an Indian who will be, in the crossfire. So if there are 10,000 deaths and there are 5 Indians, the Indian media will only focus on the 5 Indians. They're not going to focus on, one second, let me put this off, it's too cold here. Hey, they're not going. So they're not going to focus on the 10,000 Americans, they'll focus on the 5 Indians. So when you highlight an Indians, it looks like crimes are being committed more against Indians. So I want you to use a little bit of discretion and understand that it's not just only Indians where there are high amounts of crimes and there are more Indians. It's like, the lottery ticket in, they had this big lucky draw in UAE, Dubai. Almost every lucky draw winner is an Indian. The reason being is 80 to 90% of the ticket buyers are Indians, 80 to 90. The rest, 10% or 5% are other nationalities. So stats don't actually give you the reality. So Indian media will only focus on Indians killing. They'll not speak about Africans being killed or Americans being killed. They'll only focus. So keep that in mind. I'll just conclude by giving you this much. See, nationalism, patriotism, all the pride of being Indian and all that, it's good, fine. Everyone has it. Americans have it. British have it. All countries, they have their own. But being blinded by we are good, they are bad, that's not going to help anyone. It's like the typical Indian response. Oh, we Indians are going to rule the world. Satar Nadella and Sundar Pichai, they are Indian. Indian origin who dumped his Indian passport, that's a right one, and has taken up American citizen. So, when you take pride in someone who's Indian or Indian origin, and hey, he's Indian, I'm Indian, he's Indian, I'm Indian, don't ignore the fact that one side is good, Indians, the other side are the bad is also, there are some Indians, pedophiles, rapists, criminals, fraudsters. There are many Indians who are also doing that. In fact, if you go to some of the YouTube videos catching pedophiles, there was this one particular guy, he was waiting for a 12-year-old or something, but this British guy acted, it was an undercover sting operation. He acted as if he is a 12-year-old girl. This guy kept, I'll teach you about love, I'll make you grow, and I will give you all the love you need and all. 12-year-old Indian man. And he caught him. And then after, please sir, I don't know, please, I have my wife, I have my children, please sir, and he started to cry, oh sir, please, all fucking fake. From India. Imagine he has a wife, he has a kid, but he's still looking to have sexual experiences with a 12-year-old girl. Okay? And then he is crying, oh please, I came to, UK, whatever, or Canada, wherever this thing was. I worked very hard, sir, please, I have family here. Now, you'll always hear an Indian associate with Sundar Pichai. Will you ever hear an Indian say, oh, he's Indian? Hey, I'm Indian. No, they will distance themselves. So, I don't expect you to, obviously, if a pedophile, he's Indian, I'm Indian, I don't expect you to do that. It's common sense. But then if you don't want to acknowledge bad things are being done by Indians, the way they behave in restaurants, in buffet, this thing, they'll take it and put it in their bag, the bread, the orange, they will put it and secretly steal food and go to restaurants. If you don't want to acknowledge that, you don't want to acknowledge the stingy behavior, the bad, pathetic hygiene, the desperation of show me your bobs and vagin, and going to Facebook sites which promote bars, bar girls who are like prostitutes, and they say I love you. They'll just see the I love you and they'll put their phone number and their mobile, I want to marry you. If you don't want to acknowledge the bad, then stop looking at the good. But if you're going to look at the good, accept that there is a bad. Then you are a balanced individual. But if you're going to deny that bad exists, Indians are doing bad, and only focus, oh, we poor Indians, it's like a feminist. Whenever she wants, she'll be brave and she'll be a feminist and she'll criticize. But the minute she gets cornered, oh, but I'm just a girl. Come on, man. This double standards doesn't work here. So all I'm trying to give you in conclusion through this video is, we Indians have massive problems and massive issues in our own country, which is being camouflaged with Modi and Make India Great. He doesn't acknowledge this. He'll divert your attention with the CAA and NRC and something else. He'll divert your attention. He'll not speak on existing problem. The existing problem is not just the overpopulation, is lack of opportunities, employment. That's why there's a massive brain drain. And when you have so many Indians going everywhere, so many kinds of Indians, the good ones, yes, they do succeed, they keep quiet. The bad ones are the ones who get so much on the spotlight. And then because of those bad apples, I will not say few, I would say quite a number of them, it ruins the game for everyone. It seriously does. And as long as you have this ignorant and arrogant, patriotic, nationalistic ego, we Indian, we number one, oh, we Indian. You're never going to change, man. And you'll say, but criticizing also doesn't change. Talk good about India. Boss, it's if in your body is healthy, but you have cancer, what are you going to focus on? The healthy part or the cancer? If you have, toothache, suppose you have 32 teeth, I don't know how many you have, but one is rotten, what, focus only on the good ones and ignore the bad one exists? You need to focus on the problem because it's only going to make things bad for everybody else. The more you deny it, the more it'll show on your face. And the answer is not, they are traitors, Jai Hind, we are India, Bharat Mahan, we have to be in India. There's hardly any jobs. The rupees that people earn is peanuts. Life is challenging. Inflation is so goddamn high. Life in India ain't easy, man. And with this mentality that you have from nationalism to politics to gossipy nature and, not minding their own business and bitching about and India's superpower. What superpower? India is a superpower. You are nothing. You are another headache, a piece of shit. And you're making a toxic, it's like someone, in a room filled with people, someone shat, someone farted. It's like the stink is everywhere. You make life miserable for everyone. Unless we look into ourselves and correct ourselves and sort things out and call a spade, nothing's going to work out here. It's unfortunate that there are people losing their lives, even if it's Indian or whichever nationality. But now what is happening is because of the ignorance, the arrogance, the bad behaviors of so many Indians, the good quality Indians are also being made to suffer. And this is not going to stop. It's only going to get worse. Mark my words. It's only going to get worse. And the reputation is going to take a hit and it's going to be even more terrible than what it was. Anyway, this is all I want to tell you. Okay? The masala hit my throat. So you can decide and tell me, what do you think? Do you think we have a serious problem? Do you think this is being exaggerated? Or do you see a solution? I personally, I don't think there's going to be a simple, straightforward solution at all. The only solution I see, you'll have to protect your own ass. You'll have to position your own self. You'll have to prove that you stand out and you're not like the typical Indian, whatever they have. Like me, my wife, when people who don't know ask my wife, hey, your husband, he looks like Maori, he looks New Zealand, he looks Australia, where's he from? So my wife always plays this game. Okay, you tell me, he's from America, he's from Canada. First they start with Australia and New Zealand, then they go America and Germany and EU. Finally, when they run out of all the places, they're like, they think, then obviously when they don't know, they say, he's Muslim, means Arab states. She says, no. I'll tell you, nowhere, not a single place do they, even in their wildest dreams, would say India. And the minute she says, is Indian, their jaw drops, their eyes become like a cartoon, like mask, like, India? And they can't believe. They're like, Indian? And the first word, in Thai, there's a kiniao. Kiniao means stingy. India, very, okay, they'll be polite, they'll not say it. But my wife says it. Yeah, I know many Indians, they're like kiniao, they're stingy. But my husband is not like that. He's saying, then they understand when she tells them he was in Dubai. And, he's from Dubai. Okay, that's why he's so different. Then it makes sense to them. I'm not saying this as a compliment. I'm not saying that I'm superior. I'm just telling you honest reactions from people. In fact, even marriage, a Thai female, she will, even Filipinos, even in their groups that they have, they'll always ask for, I want an American husband, I want a UK husband, I want a European husband. I have never seen any group or any female saying, I'm dying for an Indian husband. I don't know. Find out and let me know if any female's dream is, I want an Indian husband. They'll say American, they'll say British, they'll say Australian. Yeah, because of their white passport. But to this date, I've never heard a single female say, my dream is India, Indian husband. In fact, my wife was berated by so many people when she told them, they didn't see my face, nothing. I married an Indian. She's like, ugh. They actually told her this. But when they showed my photograph and it's from Dubai, and she obviously showed, wants to show off and with her friends and showed my online profile. Then it's different. That is the challenge we Indians are facing. Anyway, I just thought I'll keep it real. I know there will be many Indians who will be butthurt, who are not going to like what I say. And there'll be people, I'm going to report this channel, you're racist, I'll report for hate. And some female aunties, they're like, I'm going to, put a FIR against you. And don't you, ladies, imagine, aunties are saying, don't you dare come to India, you see what I'll do to you. But ladies are, don't you dare. The men are, I dare you to come. And they see too many of these in India. I challenge you. I dare you. Come in front of me and say it. Yeah, I'm jobless. No, I'm jobless. I'll take a ticket, fly all the way, come in front of you. I have a dare. Why don't you bloody book a full ticket and travel all the way and come here, and I'll keep 2-3 cops, tourist police waiting here, and then we'll see what you'll do. A fucking clown. Too many Hindi movies you see or what? And then what? North Indian. Maa ka doodh piya hai. You drank your mother's milk. No, man. I drink Nido or Laknor. This. I stopped drinking mother's milk very long back. I drink cow's milk. But you drink mother's milk or what? So many bloody Hindi movies you see and talk nonsense. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you about our Indians. Sad what is happening. In the end, I can only state like how our Indians will say, what is this? What is this? And I don't have to go very far. Our Indians themselves will be racist and say, what? Rice bag. Oh, look at this South Indian, what? Malbari, Keralite, South Indian, Portuguese, what? Rice bag. And this convertee, and he's not like us Hindus, and Jai Hind and Jai Mata Di and Jai Shri Ram, and that's the only thing our Indians can do. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Just thought I'll put this out there. Good, bad, ugly, feel free, comment down below. And let me know, what do you think? What is the solution? Love to hear from you. You guys take care. It's me signing off.